Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pod Shed and the Truck Show podcast. I'm your host Holman, and I'm stoked to be here with you. Hopefully everybody had a very happy 4th of July. As you listen to this, I am vacationing with the family off the coast of SoCal on Catalina Island, probably enjoying a Dr. Pepper with an umbrella in it. So wherever you are, hopefully you're on vacation. I'm glad you're listening to the Truck Show podcast. So it's been another busy week here at the Pod Shed. I finally took repossession of my 1941 Ford GPW flat fender. It has been at Gordon Custom Fabrication in Camarillo for, I don't know, probably, maybe 3 years now. And but that was kind of planned. When I dropped it off with Josh, I said, hey, just put it in the corner, work on it as you have time. And he did. So anyway, he finally wrapped it up and did a ton of work. Repaired the frame, new shackle mounts. It's now sitting on Deaver Springs, Bilstein 5100s. He made some seat mounts for me. Also, he carved out the rear wheel houses so I have more leg room because I can slide the seat back further. And the seat mounts are pretty bitchin'. Also, reworked front bumper with the original Warren 8274 winch, which I've talked to Warren about and told him, I said, listen, I've got an original 8274. Could we do a story in OVR where I fly up there with the winch and we rebuild it? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm hopeful that the 8274 will get rebuilt and be working and be worthy of, actually probably be the most expensive thing on the flat fender. But looking forward to getting that working again because it's so proper up there. Built in, I believe, July of 76. The Warren 8274 came out in 1974, so only 2 years of production. Anyway, I have the original bill of sale. It was like $500 from when my uncle bought that. So anyway, it's super cool. We also did a brand new steering box, updated steering, sliders, and then even a rear tire carrier. There's also just random metal work where things have been hacked out that he fixed for me. And it still needs a ton more work. It's funny. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. And I was walking around it going, oh my God, oh, it needs so much. I'm pretty sure the Oddfire V6 in it is hurt. Also, it needs a new radiator and a full rewire. And in my current condition with my shoulder injuries and stuff, there's no way for me to really tackle that right now. So I'll clear a spot in the garage, and when I'm finally able to lay on my back and move in odd positions, I'll get that thing rewired. And then who knows, maybe I'll send it off to my good friend Vern Simons at Vernco Fab in Arizona. He's a flatty expert, as you guys who've ever followed the magazines know, and see if he'd be willing to get that back on the trail for me. Also, with the new seats, it's funny, they're only a couple inches higher than before on the new seat mounts. And I put a high hood windshield frame on it because I like that chopped look. Well, my head's above the windshield frame now, so looks like I'm going to have to go back to a low hood windshield frame. So if you know anyone with a low hood flat fender windshield frame that's in great shape or even good shape, send them my way. I don't care if it's a 2-piece glass or a single. I'm going to be looking for one of those to replace what I have currently on the flat fender. But it's so awesome when I walk out in the garage and it's sitting there, and I've just been jumping in and sitting in it, just like, this is cool. So happy to have that back, and hopefully we'll do a little more podcast stuff with it coming up. But it's you can follow at Oddford on Instagram or on my Instagram at Sean P. Holman, and I may post some stuff on Truck Show Podcast. I know it's not a truck, but it's kind of a truck, right? I mean, it's a quarter ton body on frame off-road vehicle. So as I have that more, I would love to do some stuff on here and let you guys know what the progress is. Speaking of progress, Marin is doing awesome. She's had some amazing progress in her own healing. I started PT on my neck and shoulder, and as you can see with the consistent drops of the podcast, or more consistent as I catch up, starting to get back into a rhythm again, and I'm getting close to ordering my replacement vehicle. So hopefully I'll know something by our next full-length episode or a week or two, and we'll let you know what I did. So got that going on, and other than that, really just kicking along and feeling better. But as you know, I've been a little bit behind. And one of the episodes you guys never got to hear was the second part of my Nissan Media Drive with Emme Hall. So I decided to bring that craziness to you in this episode and then start catching up on some things I had banked before the accident. I've got a couple really good interviews over the next couple weeks that we'll get out there. But this one with Emme, you love her, I think. You know her craziness. And we did the Armada and the Frontier, and I've only given you half of that. So this episode will be the rest of that Nissan Media Drive. But before we get going, we have to thank our awesome sponsors.
The Truck Show podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. AMSOIL launched the industry's first synthetic motor oil back in 1972, and AMSOIL continues to innovate with a wide selection of synthetics that are formulated, blended, and packaged right here in the United States. These specialized lubricants are engineered for what you drive and how you drive. AMSOIL's Shop by Vehicle tool offers package size recommendations to maximize savings and includes AMSOIL's Ultimate Oil Change Kits. AMSOIL offers the protection you demand and the performance you deserve. Get yours today at AMSOIL.com. The perfect complement to your truck is a Kershaw knife. All Kershaw knives come with a limited lifetime warranty, and repair parts are readily available through the website. Kershaw knives include lifetime sharpening, and the lineup has everything from EDC knives that can be used and abused for under $50, all the way up to high-end collectibles. Thanks to our generous partnership with Kershaw Knives, Truck Show podcast listeners can get 40% off MSRP and free shipping over $50 by using the code 2540TSP now going forward. It can be used more than once and even includes automatics. Visit Kershaw.kiusa.com today. UEM Pistons is one of the few companies that's been in business for over 100 years. Founded in 1922, UEM continues on today, owned and run by the fourth generation of the family that founded them. We especially like the company's dual-oil line of diesel pistons, which are cast and machined in-house to maintain the highest level of quality and consistency. Dual-oil pistons are available for most popular diesel light and medium-duty trucks, and you can find your diesel replacement pistons today at uempistons.com. When it comes to amazing vehicle-based adventure content, how-tos, and great storytelling, only one brand is doing it right in the print magazine space, and that's OVR, Outdoor Vehicle Recreation. OVR is about getting out there in our vehicles to explore and discover the world around us. Get complimentary access for a year to the digital library or a discount on your print subscription today at ovrmag.com. Use the promotional code @TruckShowPodcast.
And don't forget that the Truck Show podcast survives off of sponsorships and your reviews. Please help me to keep it free by supporting our sponsors and leaving reviews and comments on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck, 'cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
That's right. It's your voice-cracking host, Holman, coming to you from the Pod Shed in Huntington Beach, California. However, hopefully you guys can hear it. I think my voice is getting a little bit better. Sounds like I have some nerve damage from my surgery and what they call, I guess it's laryngeal palsy. So it's basically like a paralyzed vocal cord, but I've got an appointment with ENT coming up, and hopefully we'll get it fixed. But I think it's getting a little bit better. Hopefully you guys can hear that and can weather the storm with me, as it were. Anyway, it has been several months since this drive. I think we did back in March, and I'm sure Emme forgot all about this. You guys maybe forgot about this. I didn't. So I went ahead and edited the interview, and I wanted to make sure that we got this to you guys. So I owe her a thank you for giving us her perspective and riding along with me, even though she's insane. So thank you, Emme, for being you. And here is the second half of me on a media drive with my drive partner, Emme Hall.
You guys didn't hear this because I paused the recording. But,
You should have heard it though.
But Emme and I discovered that on the Armada Pro 4X is a dash cam setting or system, and then it's forward looking and also rear looking and interior.
That means we have now left many photos and videos for unsuspecting
yes.
future
So back up.
drivers.
So what happened was we were scrolling and there were all these file photos of this thing in transport and with like these plastic on the seats, and we realized, wait, you can save images to it let's make some videos of us karaokeing like some old 80s awesomeness. And so we just made a bunch of videos that we think nobody will ever find. If they do, they'll wonder, like, why did I buy this
they
vehicle?
will, because it was very easy to find those files.
They'll be like, who are these people singing 80s music in this Armada?
I found those files, so it'll be very easy. I really hope that this goes into the fleet, and so like all our colleagues see
And
that.
they see that, and somewhere somebody will tag us in like an Instagram and go, what the F is this? Well, I know these people.
Like, and that tracks.
It's our own little Easter egg for our colleagues.
I love it. Also, they said there were some Easter eggs on this. Like,
Yeah, there
since
are.
I haven't been looking,
Oh,
so I
yeah,
need to
they're
look. I need to look. Because what I learned today, which I did not know, is that this Armada
Yes.
is the same as the Global Patrol, which is one of our favorite vehicles.
Which is true. So the Global Patrol and the last Armada we talked about on the show were cousins. They weren't exact.
These are like bros.
But these things, the current Armada, the new one, and the Patrol were actually developed at the exact same time from the beginning with each other. And so minus the Armada name and some government regulation changes that are a little bit different in different places, it's the exact same vehicle.
Yeah, which is cool because I feel like the Patrol has a lot of
More
cred,
cachet and
way more dirt cred than
it's
Armada.
It's a legitimate Land Cruiser competitor, and some would say better, in the overseas markets, especially in Saudi Arabia and Middle East.
Do you remember it was the last generation where they put a 6-inch lift on an Armada? Remember that?
Yes.
Lynn drove that in the Rebel Rally.
That's the one that David Page
drove that, or built that.
Yeah.
A 6-inch lift on the Armada was amazing.
Yep, it was cool. Yeah, there's some lift kits and stuff like that out there. I wonder what people will do for this one, the air suspension.
I don't know. I mean, 11.6 inches of ground clearance is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's got a 34-inch tire on it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a small tire.
Yeah.
It's not a 20 though.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely swap these out. These are the Yokohama Geolanders, which...
AT2s.
Right.
Which is a good tire.
Yes, because we ran these on the ID4.
Oh, yeah.
In Baja. No, in Baja when we did the Mexican 1000.
Oh, got it, yeah.
With Volkswagen and Tanner Faustin, we didn't have any flats on that. So I was like, oh, it's a good tire, good tire.
Yep, it's a good tire.
But it's just not very aggressive. Although it just did what we asked it to, and we were still at street pressure, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were sliding a little bit, but between that and the traction control and the Armada, no problem.
Yeah. I don't know about sidewall strength, but...
well, this thing has to weigh 6,000 pounds or close to it, and we were side sloping, and it was totally fine.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was going to die.
No.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to die most of the time with you.
Right. And that's by design.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm glad to know that that's exactly the outcome I was hoping for.
No, you've got it down pat.
But so far, I mean, I like this thing. I liked it on the road. I haven't done a lot of off-roading with it. And this is the first time I've done like some pretty serious off-roading. And serious, not like, I'm not crawling in Moab or anything, but serious.
No,
like
but that hill,
what a family would take this thing on.
And that climb I would say was serious.
Most people would not do that in this car. So the fact that Nissan is out there saying, listen, this capability far exceeds what most owners would take it on is great.
Well, that's nice because then, if you're just like a regular kind of weekend warrior person,
you're going to cross-country off-road or
you're never approaching the limits, which means you're probably not going to,
probably fine.
And you're not going to break it. Yeah. That's always my thing is like, oh my God, am I going to be out here in the middle of nowhere with nobody and then I'm going to break it? And that's what worries me though about air suspension.
Yep, air suspension and then just all the computers and all the new cars and stuff, but so far so good. And then the Frontier following us is one of the development ones, and it's in that cardinal red color, which I really like. You don't.
I don't like it. No, it's too dark.
On that one, it's too dark. I think that's good on some other trucks, but the what they call red alert, which is the like fire engine red, like my Jeep.
Yeah, fire engine red is. Yeah. I could be down with a good blue as well.
They do have a good blue.
Like that. I love the ZR2 blue.
Oh, the ZR2 blue is really pretty.
Yeah.
But the Nissan blue is that really dark blue that's almost like a black.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. I want my car to stand out.
You want it to be bright?
Yes. The fact that the Mazda Speed is silver, I hate. Yeah. I hate it. And my truck is white.
But you have a red top on that.
No, I don't. It's a black top.
Oh, you don't? It's black top? Oh, that's
black top. It's black and red interior.
Horrible.
No,
throw it away. Get rid of it.
No, I will not.
Trash it.
They only made 1,500 of them, so suck it.
You don't need any more Miatas.
I do.
Meanwhile, I need to pick a truck.
Just get the Frontier and shut up about it. My God.
I do like the Frontier a lot.
I know, so just buy it. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, I have to, end of the year.
Well, that means I'm going to have to listen to this for the next, 9 months?
Yeah.
Jesus, I could grow a baby in that amount of time.
It's like me birthing a truck with you.
Disgusting. Are you still in low? You are definitely in low gear, you asshole.
You know what's funny is there's that new journalist girl, Jen.
New journalist girl, Jen.
Yeah, she's like, I haven't seen her in any program. She's fairly new.
Who, for what?
Here, on this drive. From somewhere.
Oh, the girl, the TFL girl. Yeah.
Yeah, she looked at us at lunch and she goes, you guys really are like brothers and sisters. I'm like, yep, you understand now. What a view. What
I know.
A nice day.
It's a good day. It's going to be a good day, Tater.
Definitely gonna be a good day.
Like I said, can you believe we get paid for this barely?
I mean, it's the best job in the world, one day at a time.
Yeah, just one day at a time. But if you look at it from an overarching perspective.
Hey, listen, I've had a lot of 1 days in a row where I paid my bills doing this job, so I'm good with it. There's a lot of other things that I could be doing that I'm glad I'm not.
I added up, because I was doing my taxes. So since I write about Buddy, I f***ing submit those receipts 100%. And I spent a lot of money on Buddy this year.
Yeah.
I spent like 10 grand on Buddy.
392 is the Use for Adventure company car.
Yeah.
So the if I ended up pulling the trigger on a Frontier, it would be the Truck Show Podcast company car.
Yeah. But it's better if it's a full size, right? Because don't you get more tax incentives based on the weight?
Yeah, I got to figure that whole thing out.
I think that's why a lot of people like to buy like the Rivians and the electric trucks, because it helps
They're
with
heavy.
that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't. Why is it by weight? Is it because in theory it's supposed to be like
The cargo.
a cargo thing?
Yeah, because it's more commercial. All right, so now we're coming up. We caught up with the line of Pro 4X Armadas in front of us. And there's a little downhill, a little traversing.
Easy peasy.
I do like how nice this interior is, though. Like, it's laid out pretty good, and it's just a nice looking. I don't like the Expedition that goes all the way across.
You mean the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need a
screen.
screen.
The new one has like that 2 tier is kind of funky.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm driving that coming up, so maybe I'll change my mind after I get into it.
Yeah.
But like all the stitching and the materials, like all the details are really nice.
Yeah, I like the orange stitching, and I also like that I have orange stitching and then like a different colored, which I think is probably.
It picks up the satin finish bright work in here.
Yeah. No, I dig on that.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is the trailer brake control. Just looks like it was kind of slapped on the dash. I'm not a fan of that.
You don't see it. Who cares?
I see it as a passenger. It offends my eyes.
I'm not a big fan of the push button transmission. No. That's not my favorite.
No, but weren't you saying it's because they wanted to free up space?
Yeah, free up console space. So fine.
But yeah, so in the console,
it was a noble effort.
But in the console, we have 2 cup holders and then a little cubby, which is probably that's the phone charging pad. But we have our walking in there. Your tiny little. Also, you guys, Holman is drinking a regular Coke right now.
Yeah, it's an emergency drink.
And then your phone, and there's no place for my phone, and there's no place for the keys.
No,
but
that's not true. The keys can go right here, and your phone can go right here.
No, but I don't want to mess up what's happening on your phone.
Yeah, it's weird.
But there is a little pass-through underneath, which I like.
There's plenty of cubby space in the center console too, so it's fine.
You know what would be awesome is if this center console was cooled, so we could have road sodas.
Cold Dr. Peppers.
Yes, Diet Dr. Peppers.
Dr. Peppers.
Just like Diet Dr. Peppers.
Dr. Peppers.
Diet Dr.
Exactly what I said.
Oh, look at the wheel up. Oh, look at it go. I love wheels up. It's so much fun. It always looks so cool, and it doesn't matter. It's no big deal if you have a locker on. But I love it. People get very excited.
Honey Badger don't care.
That's a super old reference.
Thank you.
I don't think
but yet you got it. Okay, I'm gonna put in neutral.
Are you gonna low it?
Or low. It's gonna shift, and now we go back into drive. And then we go hill descent control.
Push those buttons. No, I think you just took it out of hill descent control.
Push
there you
it
go.
Back in there now.
Phew, I'm glad I'm your co-dog. Jeez.
Right. Well, I was just trying to test you to see if you were worth my...
seriously F things up. Woo! We're so high in the back. Whee. Nice. Ooh, we're up again.
I want to go straight, but they probably won't let me, huh?
I mean, you could very easily go straight. There's nothing really there. There's one little ledge.
I got it. We're going to give them a different point of view.
Yeah.
And...
keep that lock. Look. Woo!
No hands! Yeah, walked right down the hard line. No problem.
That wasn't a hard line.
Armada don't care. It was harder than the other line. Not easy to wield a big stick like this through these tight bushes without scratching it.
You are true. This one won't go as fast in low gear.
All right, we just swapped. Emmy's in the driver's seat now against my better judgment.
You're so funny.
Oh boy. I've given her the keys and the regrets are flowing in.
No regrets. Are your arms really this long?
Yeah.
I don't feel like your arms are that long. Because I like where my feet are. Well, maybe I want to go a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Emmy just adjusts her steering wheel so she's like in Mom's minivan with that high steering angle.
I like
She brought
it.
super close herself. Brought the
No, it is
the
not
seat
super close.
up. She's only like an inch shorter than me, but she moves
I am
herself
taller than you.
12 inches closer. Why are you 12 inches closer to the wheel?
And when you put your hands
You're gonna
out,
die
your
because of the
wrist
airbag.
should be on the top of the steering wheel. Everybody knows you need to be at 90
Right,
degrees when
yeah.
you're clutching. God, you're the worst.
No,
person I know.
just keep going.
I'm saying that's what it's supposed to be.
Tell
That's
our
how
listeners.
you're supposed to be.
Right. Any other lessons for our truck driving audience from Emmy Hall?
Not yet, Satan.
Oh, did I tell you I have another Hall coming on the show?
You have Shelby Hall coming on. I know.
Not related.
No, I wish.
You
because,
wish, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because then I might have a little bit more cachet. She's actually, I saw her this weekend and I meant to tell her and I didn't. And
She's super cool.
I need to call her. I really think that what she's been doing lately, like professional wise, has been really interesting to watch, and she's doing a great job.
She is.
She started doing a lot of off-road events, and now she's started her own race team. They bought a Bronco DR.
Yep, and wrapped it like a strop. It's got her grandpa's name and Bill Strop on the side, so we'll talk about that stuff.
Pretty awesome. Hi. Okay, I'm definitely using the camera right now because I can't see hood.
And she made it up.
Phew, it was so hard. Although I will tell you this about Shelby.
Yeah.
Once in the Rebel Rally, we were not in the same class. And we were both at a checkpoint, and we weren't exactly sure if we, in the crossover class, were at the right checkpoint, and she wouldn't help us. And I was like, we're not even in the same class. You know what I wouldn't mind on this, though? And this is something that people either love or hate, but I love the rear camera mirrors.
I hate them.
I love them.
I hate them because they make you seasick. The resolution's not good. The only place a rear camera mirror makes sense is when you have cargo or people in the back and you can see behind them.
Yeah, but
I get.
I have so much space behind me, and all I see, I like having that wide angle.
I like
view
using
back
my
there.
mirrors on the side. I drive a Jeep. I can't see out the back anyway, so it's
that's true.
pointless.
So you just never even look.
Yeah, it just doesn't even occur to me. Okay, big right. Are you going to straddle it or are you going to take the line on the right? Probably go the line on the right.
I was going to say we straddled it on the way up in the Frontier, but let's go over here. Look at this big steep hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. 4 low. No go to 4 low. I'm also going to preemptively lock this I guess here we go.
Okay, here we are. Diff lock on, low range, Emmy Hall at the wheel. We're climbing a
This is so
25-degree slope.
Not a big deal.
It's feels like a rocket ship taking off.
No, you do not. We're definitely going as slow as possible, as fast as
We're
necessary.
aiming towards the moon.
Now I see nothing in front of me, but I'm using my
It's a drone.
clear, invisible,
Dude, the invisible hood camera is awesome.
hood camera. I can see myself getting used to this, which I hate. I don't want to get used to technology, Sean.
Like a pro, the Armada makes her look good.
Oh my God, you are the worst person I know. Diff lock off. Neutral. Oh, sorry. 4 high, cause I hate driving in the 4 lows. I hate driving in the 4 lows. I will switch it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Except in a Jeep, because that, like, trying to get it into 4 low is a big fat pain in the ass.
Yeah.
When you're in 4 low in that, you're in that for a while.
In it to win it.
What do you think the rear end gearing is on this? 3 something?
Yeah, I have it in my OVR story. It's something like a 3...
Like a 373 maybe?
No.
No, not that low?
No, it's not, because the 9-speed transmission has a low first gear, so they're able to
okay.
get... but it's like a 3, 4, 2, 5, 9, 6, 7, 8. It's typical
Right.
Japanese, gives you like 12 decimal points after the final drive. Nope,
Oh.
nope. Little to your passenger. Okay. Now cut. Nice and easy.
Woo!
You're good. We're just coming around.
Pivot.
There you go. Nice.
Sorry, I didn't know where you. I was like, where am I supposed to
Wait,
go?
where's my good shit?
Oh, that was good. I just wanted that.
The breakover angle?
Yeah, that rear lift. We got huge rear lift. The right rear was nice.
All right, so here we are at the end of our Pro 4X Arizona driving day with Nissan, and I want to thank my co-host throughout this and driving partner.
Do you really want to thank me,
No,
or do you want
Emme.
to praise me?
Oh no, let's see how I edit this because it'll either be really funny or a disaster. So we know we got a lot of drops out of you, so that's
Oh,
good.
I'm glad that I served my purpose
Yep.
to give you a lot of drops, of which I am not paid for. Thank you very much, everybody.
You are paid for in the love
No,
of people.
I get nothing. I
Right.
get nothing. I can't pay my rent on love.
Well, I gave you some Diet Dr. Peppers, and
That's
that should
true.
be a fair
That's
trade.
true. You got me 3 Diet Dr. Peppers.
3 bottles.
I know.
From a convenience store.
I know.
All right, overall impressions of this episode of the Truck Show podcast.
Okay,
and that's great. And then what do you think about the Nissans?
dude, surprised by the Frontier because I haven't been in it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am stoked to finally get some time into that. And actually surprised a little bit by the Armada. I mean, stoked that it's like basically an American patrol. And definitely a viable option to the Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, well, definitely if you need full size, but I think it holds itself well against any of the competition, especially if you're looking for a full-size SUV that you need off-road capability for the whole family. This should definitely be on the list. So it's been awesome. Nissan's had us out to drive in different places, but being in Arizona, more deserty trails like we're used to, I think was
this is
super
fun.
cool.
It's great to get into a different desert.
Yep. So yeah, we're in the Sonoran versus where we usually are in the Mojave. Okay. Thanks for being my drive partner, even though you didn't have to, because they were going to give us our own cars. And we're like, no, we want to.
That would be so boring. Could you imagine doing this by yourself?
We would
Oh
not
my
have done half the
God.
karaoke that we did.
No, it would have been so boring because
any
we've
of it.
been driving pretty slow today.
Yeah. Yep, we have.
Yeah.
All right, well, enjoy your flight on the magic aluminum tube. I'm going to get myself into a truck and drive 6 hours home. You'll beat me, but I will.
Will I though? I bet I won't. Oh no, I land I land at 8:15.
You'll be. Yeah. Well, then you got to get home.
Yeah, but I'm like at 45 minutes from the airport.
It'll be close. You'll probably beat me by half an hour, I bet.
Maybe.
All right. Well, safe travels. Thanks for hanging out and
whatever.
coming on the
Blah,
Truck
go
Show
away.
podcast. See ya.
All right, well, I feel like we're on a roll, so why don't we head over to the inbox and see what kind of messages are waiting for us there. truckshowpodcast@gmail.com.
You email? Yeah. I email? Do it. We email? That's right. Everybody email. Type it up. You email? Proofread. I email? Send it. We email? Click it. Everybody email.
I can't do those funny sing-along things anymore because I can't reach any octave but this one. All right, I've got this really heartfelt letter from Brett Smith that I really wanted to read. And Brett, I really appreciate you sending this. This is from Brett Smith. Holman, I've been a loyal listener since the beginning. I also love the magazine world, and that's how I found out about podcasts. It was from the C10 Builder's Guide. I've always enjoyed reading your articles and listening to your podcast. I also started in the mini truck world and had 2 S10s before I was even 16. I do not have any social media, so when you came out with the episode with your daughter the other day, I was so glad that y'all were doing as good as you were with the severity of your crash. I've been praying for both of y'all, and although I've not had a traumatic car crash, I have survived cancer as a child, and I feel that because of that, I'm stronger in my faith with God, and I'm closer with my mother, who is my main caregiver and best friend during my treatment. Your daughter's positivity and outlook on life was inspiring, and with that attitude, she'll come out of this car crash stronger and a better person than she was before. I would also like to compliment your daughter's taste in music and guitars. I'm a horrible guitarist, but love the same band she was listing off in the episode. My favorite band album is the Brown Album, and I think it's a masterpiece from start to finish. You should do a segment where she comes on and talks music for a few minutes, maybe once a month or so, or at least have her on for updates on how she's doing. Do not get too caught up on how your voice is currently sounding. Well, that's the toughest part, I'll be honest with you guys. The 2 things I fight right now are my fatigue, because I definitely get wiped way easier than I did, and my voice, and that's really kept me from wanting to do the podcast, but because of all of your feedback and people in the pod shed and just all the comments, you guys have made me realize that it's something I got to deal with, and we got to keep knocking out podcasts. So I appreciate that. Anyway, did I get too caught up on how your voice is currently sounding? Us truck guys do not tune in for the sound of your voice, but for the great content and entertainment you provide with your podcast. I worked at a boat shop for 11 years as a mechanic, and now I estimate roofs for a roofing company, which is great because I enjoy working on my stuff so much more now. My current vehicles are a 04 Tahoe. They've had for 15 years with 350,000 miles on it. Only thing I have not replaced is the transmission. An 07 Silverado that's pretty stock. Besides a mild lift and some BFG all-terrains that just turned 82,000 miles, the truck has 165,000 with no issues so far. Getting a new set of 33 1250 18 KO3s installed next week. Also have a 97 TJ. Oh, hold on. Gotta find my bell. Over on the other side of the desk here. And he says that's been a project for my dad and I. It's the same color and years, the one I regret selling after high school. Attached are a few pictures. The first one is the picture of my dad and my 5-year-old son working on the Jeep. Just wanted you to know I'm praying for you guys and want to say thank you for all the content. You do the best in the business, and I feel like a friend was in a car wreck after all these years of listening, even though we've never met. God bless. Keep up the hard work. Don't critique my writing too bad. I'm a mechanic roofer, not a professional writer. Haha. That's Brett Smith from Virginia. Thanks, Brett. I really appreciate you guys when you send emails like this, and it's just really uplifting, and thank you for listening and staying with me for all these years, and it's great to see photos. I love seeing when you guys send me photos, and if you guys want me to put those on the Truck Show Podcast Instagram, just shoot me an email when you send photos and say they're okay for social, and I'll get them over to Dave, and I'd love to get some of you guys in your stuff up there so the rest of the listeners can see some of the stuff that I see. All right, got this really great email. This will probably be our last email just because it's so long, but it requires some thought and discussion. This is from our buddy Ray. Hello, Sean. When you have a moment, if you have time and feel up to it, I'd like your opinion for a friend who's currently trying to figure out the best vehicle to replace his aging Rebel. I'll bulletize it to make it quicker. So use case, 8 to 10 trips per year from Santa Clarita, that's California, to Saline Valley, which is next to Death Valley, and the surrounding environs, so plenty of highway miles as well as off-road miles. Dave provides vacation relief for the folks manning Saline Valley Warm Springs Camp, plus he likes it out there. Well, I can see why. While at Saline, frequently makes day trips through or to places like Steel Canyon, Denekara Canyon, Eureka Dunes, Decal Junction, Lippincott Pass, Hunter Canyon. Prefers to get into and out of Saline via South Pass, but depending on weather and road conditions, sometimes uses North Pass. Either way, it's a minimum of 40 to 60 miles of mostly washboard roads in and out every trip. 4, he's conscientious, careful off-roader, only does rock hopping when the trail is that way. He's not necessarily looking for a rock hopping vehicle for entertainment. Same for dunes. He doesn't recreate there, does several light-duty rescues per year using his Rebel and tow straps for the tenderfoot to get themselves stuck. Has no winch, doesn't think he needs one for himself, although nice on occasion for rescuing others. 6, rarely tows, and then only light utility trailer. 7, never much weight in the bed. Current vehicle, 2020 1500 Eco Diesel Rebel, quad cab with air suspension, 65,000 miles, live at off-road. As you know, Ram's 4-corner air suspension is not great for off-road. They've replaced the front struts a few times on the extended factory warranty. He loves his Eco Diesel and likes the air suspension overall, but feels the suspension isn't really up to the rigors of his use case. Has a camper shell outfitted for sleeping with storage boxes along the side for tools and supplies. Prefers Ram, but would consider GM or a Ford. Doesn't really want a 2500, but has considered a Rebel 2500 and Power Wagon for durability and longevity compared to his current 1500 Rebel. And 7, has considered the Gladiator, but I think it's a bit too small. Also loves the comfort of his Ram on the highway. And then his recommendations: Ray's, RHO, Power Wagon, Rebel 2500, Chevy GMC 1500, Duramax, in that order. So Dave's concerns are fuel economy. And Ray says, I told him, forget about fuel economy with any gasoline power truck and just enjoy the ride and lack of diesel maintenance. Weight of 3/4 ton, he doesn't necessarily need a 2500. What happens to the RHO capability if the fancy shocks lose communication with computers? Does it have to be towed? Can it get home okay in limp mode? I remind him how much wider the RHO is, but he's not terribly concerned about that, as he doesn't usually go looking for narrow trails. The reliability of the half-ton GM and 410-speed automatics. He's known a couple guys in the neighborhood who both lemon lot out of their GM 1500 trucks. Anyhow, if you have the bandwidth and the inclination, it'd be great to hear your recommendation based on the info stated above. Well, it sounds like price is no object, and he's going to be able to buy whatever he wants. The best bet for, I think comfort and performance is going to be the RHO. And he can get that with the 6, the Hurricane. Yes, if the shocks get disconnected, they go to a neutral setting, so there's no issues there. I will tell you the TRX that I had for a year from 4-Wheeler Magazine was one of the best trucks I've ever driven in terms of all-around function. I don't think a diesel these days, if you're not towing a lot and using it, is a smart move because of all the issues. I'm telling you, my friends with newer diesels, there's like 70% have had issues. I'm not kidding, like 70. And the other people have newer ones that just don't have a lot of miles. So I would shy away from that. I am a huge fan of the Power Wagon. I think it's going to be more durable than a 1500. You're going to be able to have a little bit of a tougher truck, but your ride's going to suffer. They have a real small Bilstein shock that goes all the way back to 2004, 2005 when they relaunched the Power Wagon. And you could get a set of shocks, would be the only thing I'd do on that. I'd go to Bilstein and get a set of probably the 6112 big shocks, big body shock, because that's going to help out a lot on the washboards. Otherwise, incredibly capable, and it comes with a factory winch. So for his use case and my preference, I would say RHO probably makes sense if he's already in a 1500. But if he's really looking for that durability and he can understand that the costs of diesel ownership, diesel, DEF, as well as maintenance, right? All of those things are way more expensive. And the cost of getting into the vehicle on top of the cost of ownership are going to be offset. So even though you're going to be using more gallons and it's less efficient, it's going to still be a way cheaper cost of ownership overall. So I would say take a good hard look at the RHO. If he thinks he can get away with the wider body and what the RHO offers, I think he would really appreciate that. You can get a Rebel with steel springs. You're not necessarily forced into air suspension if you love his Rebel, but I think Power Wagon is going to be your choice if you want something that is super durable. So hopefully that helped, and we didn't talk too much in circles, but good luck to your friend. And Ray, let me know what Dave chooses, because I would love to know what he decided on and how he likes it once he makes his choice. All right, why don't we head over to some of our different platforms and check in on reviews.
5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars.
5.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Right back at you,
brother.
I was so off. I wasn't going to do it, and then I had to try to do it because, All right, here's a couple from Apple. We've got 5-star from Tynamo69. Says 5 stars. And then Scott was ditto. And then the Ziggs Rigs, a must listen for any auto enthusiast. The Truck Show podcast is hands down one of the greatest automotive podcasts out there. And a huge part of that is thanks to Sean. His sense of humor, spot on, witty, sharp, and just the right amount of irreverent to keep things fun without ever going off the rails. I don't know about that. You can tell he's not just putting on a show. His genuine love for all things trucks and automobiles shines through every episode. Whether he's deep diving into the latest builds, sharing behind the scenes industry stories, or just cracking jokes with guests, Sean keeps you engaged and entertained from start to finish. It's that rare mix of information and hilarious that keeps me coming back week after week. Highly recommended to gearheads, truck lovers, and anyone who just wants to enjoy a great time behind the mic. Thank you, Mr. The Ziggs Rigs. I believe that is Mike. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the 5-star review. And Lightning's not here for me to high five, and there's nobody in studio right now for high-fiving a 5-star. Should probably go grab one of the girls out of the house and make them come to podcast with their dad. You know what? I'm gonna go get Abby. Give me 1 second. All right, through the magic of editing, in my studio is say your name.
Abby.
And how old are you?
7.5.
7.5. Are you happy your dad and your sister are home?
Yeah.
Were you worried about us?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to help me out really quick on the podcast. I'm going to say 5 stars, and you and I are going to high five together. 5 stars. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 5 stars. All right. You going to come out here and help your dad more often? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Love you. Thank you.
I could go.
You can go. And there she goes. All right. fun to have helpers around the house when you're recording the podcast. Anyway, she's fun. Could guess you guys don't know her as much as you know Marin these days. So we'll have to have her back. And, oh, you know what? I know. We'll have her back so she can talk about the trucks that she loves. All right. Jeech to 4, 5 stars, and says, great return episode. Marcus Albatray says 5 stars, and yeah, dude. So really appreciate you guys. Thanks for keeping our reviews up. We have over 1,000 now, 1,082, and a 4.8 review out of 5. So if you guys haven't left a review, or you hated the podcast before and you love it now, could you change your review? Let's get that up to a 4.9 and help a brother out, would you? All right, one last stop. Let's head over to the Podshed Insiders, just so we can see what kind of conversations have been going on in our Facebook group.
Join the Podshed Insiders, why not? We're having fun with all that's being said, hooting and hollering in the online shed. We're having fun, talking trucks, and other totally rad and random stuff. No matter where you are, hang out in Holman's backyard. Join the Podshed Insiders, why not?
All right, so we've got some great conversations going on in here. We've got Chuck Chrisman, he's been listening to the podcast since day one. Thanks, Chuck. And he's been hearing the Nissan commercials on the show. He's a Toyota guy through and through, but he rented a Frontier in Hawaii and took it to 14,000 feet atop the volcano on the big island of Hawaii. And he says it might just change his mind about Nissan. So there you go. Appreciate it. And we have a post from Scotty Ace, who sent us a few pictures from his last Jeep run, which looked pretty darn cool. Brian Blakemore, dude, why? Posted a picture from a Fox 13, I guess, Utah news article about a rollover of a semi-truck hauling Dr. Pepper. But our good friend Nick Somas did a closer inspection and realized it was mostly Dr. Pepper Zero. So no loss there, right? We've got Bart Hargey Jr. showing us a 65 F100 with a 429 and a C6, which is freaking awesome. Also has his rescue dog Braylon behind the wheel. It is so rad. I'm not a fan of a 65 body style as much as the 67 and 72, but this truck is so sweet, and I would totally steal this from you, Bart. Ryan Panic writes, hey y'all, just want to introduce myself and share a photo he took working up in his hometown in North Idaho and over the Kootenai Valley, and it's his Tundra. And welcome to the Podshed, Ryan. We appreciate you. And then we have Chris Alter, who's been posting about his H3 that had random misfire in 5 with low compression and kind of working through that. So, we love following along when other people are trying to diagnose and figure out their problems, and people have been helping. And then 2 things. I know you guys know I love Dr. Pepper. Joe Romano posts a Dr. Pepper brownie recipe, and Tom Callis posts a set of stadium seats, Dr. Pepper stadium chairs, for $40. I was thinking about maybe getting those and using those as seating in the Podshed, but who knows if they're still around anymore. But anyway, just want to say we have a lot of fun in there. Great community, and I hope you'll consider joining the Podshed Insiders and getting the latest on what's going on behind the scenes of the Podshed. Well, with my voice starting to fade, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Truck Show Podcast. But don't forget, you can stay in the know throughout the week by following us on social at Truck Show Podcast or at Sean P. Holman. Stay in the loop.
The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show, oh, oh.
And I'd love to hear from you, so please leave us a message on the 5-star hotline. Ask a question, tell us what's on your mind, 657-205-6105. And please give me your feedback. Love to hear from you. Truck Show Podcast at gmail.com. Again, if you have questions, comments, anything, let's get them on the show. Also, if you're on Facebook, please, no reason not to join our Facebook group, the Podshed Insiders. A lot of great stuff in there. And please send me your events, your notes. I'd still like to do a Zoom show at some point sometime this summer on a Friday. We'll record and hopefully have a lot of fun. We'll make a show out of it. And lastly, got to thank our sponsors, because this show would not be possible without the great people over at companies like AMS Oil. If you love your vehicles, you're looking for the best in synthetics, go online and get oil change kits, everything you need, car care products, amsoil.com. And also the folks over at Kershaw Knives. They have a great selection of knives. They have some affordable knives that you can use as an EDC that you don't have to feel bad about using. They're affordable and they're great quality. They also have bespoke made in the USA knives, everything. Kershaw.kaiusa.com. You can use our 2540 TSP discount code with the folks over at Kershaw. And if you're rebuilding an engine, especially a diesel, head over to uempistons.com. We are partial to their dual-oil diesel pistons, but they have a huge selection that should be perfect for your build. And last but not least, ovrmag.com. Don't forget to subscribe. Truck Show Podcast listeners get a discount on that. Head to truckshowpodcast.com to the featured products page, and you can scroll down and get those discount codes. Anyway, thanks for listening and sticking with me, and looking forward to doing it again soon. Thanks, everybody.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.
A weird little show.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I hate driving in the 4 lows. That line